Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Reverend Kathy. Welcome to Unity North Spiritual Center here in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. We are an inclusive community. We welcome and accept all people. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual path, you're welcome. Glad you're with us today. We're also part of a greater worldwide unity movement. We are the publishers of the Daily Word magazine, and we've been holding 134 years of prayer vigil through Silent Unity, the prayer ministry of the unity. The prayer is the heart, soul of unity. And we always have a prayer chaplain available after service to pray with you. Today's prayer chaplain is Wendy Erickson. She's not quite here. She's running a little bit late, but she will be here for prayers after. And so her phone number will show up on the chat and also during announcements. So you can give her a call right after service if you need prayer support. And if you're here with us in the sanctuary, she will be available for personal prayer support as well. So just let her know when she comes. You can find her over the hallway by the prayer room. Happy to pray with you. Today our team is Nancy, Tracy, our production team. Get my hand. And we have Nola Bean with us, a wonderful worship assistant. And have one of our favorites back with us, Clara Vanderkramer. Now I invite you to speak our vision statement. Our vision first. Centered in prayer, we create for all a world of love, harmony, and abundance. And our mission is celebrating spirit, exploring truth, awakening hearts, inspiring dreams, serving community. Note the values at the bottom of the page. Those are our core foundational beliefs, what we hold sacred. So with that, I invite you to stand for an opening song.
Great, the words are on the screen, so you know what you need to do.
I promise in this moment to keep my heart wide open. With every breath, I'm grateful
morning. I'm Noel Levine, your worship assistant today. And this is the time in our service when we greet one another. Let's start out by waving at the people in Zoom land. Okay, just hang on a minute, hold those waves. Okay, that's the wrong one. But Finn's happy.
Hi, Finn. I'm Candy and everybody else. Oh, wrong one.
Finn really gets into that. That's why Brandy's doing that for him. He just knows that. Okay, I think we've welcomed the Zoom gang. Now we can greet one another. You can stand up and wave at each other. Right? Yeah. Like Brandy. All right. Let us take a minute and greet somebody, recognize somebody who hasn't been here in a while. You want to get up and introduce yourself? No? Do we have a lot of newcomers here? They probably don't know who you are. Okay, let's give her a welcome. Okay, thanks, Helen. So at this time, we'll take a moment for prayer requests. But before I do that, I want everybody to have a breathing exercise. So why don't you start out by breathing in peace, love, and joy. And then when you exhale, release stress, doubt, worry, and fear. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. So instead of saying your request for prayers aloud, we invite you to speak a name or prayer silently. We give thanks in advance for these prayers. And now Reverend Kathy has a prayer request to read aloud that somebody left in the basket.
As a prayer for Sadie, for safety and peace, for calm, great divine protection. Called Sadie in light, truth. God, and so it is.
And thank you, God, for answering all of our prayers today. And now stay centered for the daily word. The daily word for Sunday, October 6th, is joy. I rejoice in life's simple pleasures. Life's greatest moments, weddings, births, graduations, celebrations of all kinds, are cause for joy. But joy is also found in life's simpler moments, the day-to-day happenings that comprise daily living. Joy is in the sunrise, in my morning prayer, in the familiar faces I love and look forward to seeing, and the satisfaction I get from my work. It is in my favorite things and in the sweet surprises that come from trying something new and different. Joy is in the comfort I find in my favorite spiritual practices and in finding God anew as I deepen in spiritual insight. However it manifests, joy is part of me, a way to feel the peace and power of God in my heart and deep in my soul. From Chronicles, chapter 29, verse 22, and they ate and drank before the Lord on that day with great joy. And now, Claire is going to play a song to prepare us for meditation.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light, now you'll find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there, peace is there, truth is there, God is there.
I invite you now to sit back and relax. Close your eyes for meditation. Take several deep breaths as you say to yourself, I am completely and fully relaxed. Keeping my eyes closed, I open my toric eyes, ears, and heart. The blessings all around me. Rather than focus on moments of dramatic change, I focus instead on the slight, steady, constant flow of improvement in life. Every circumstance and each encounter, I find a small hidden blessing. I allow God to guide me with new eyes, clearer vision, the insight necessary to count and encounter abundance. My desire to see my abundant blessings gives me eyes to see. My desire to hear my blessings gives me ears to hear. The desire of my heart to encounter and explore my blessings opens my inner horizons to the expansive and beautiful. I choose to see and build upon the good of every moment. I consciously and concretely build a life of gratitude. Gratitude is life's magnet, attracting my good, especially as it's expressed in advance. Deep at the center of my being, there is an infinite well of gratitude. I now allow this gratitude to fill my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being. This gratitude radiates out from me in all directions, touching everything in my world, and returns to me as more to be grateful for. The more gratitude I feel, the more I am aware that the supply is endless. I take a moment in the silence now to consider all that I am grateful for. Gratitude makes me feel good. It is an expression of my inner joy, a warm fuzzy in my life. I'm grateful for myself and my body, my ability to see and hear, feel, and taste and touch. I'm grateful for my home and I take loving care of it. I'm grateful for my talents and abilities, continually express them in ways that are fulfilling. I'm grateful for my income and know that I prosper wherever I turn. I'm grateful for my family and friends, and I rejoice in their company. And I'm grateful for my spiritual community here at Unity North and all of the connections I have made here. I'm grateful for the unity movement of peace, love, and joy in the world, and the amazing teachings that are always in my heart. And I'm grateful for all of my past experiences, for I know they were part of my soul's growth. And I'm grateful for today and the tomorrows to come, for the beauty and the many wonders of creation and the magnificent universe of which I am a part. For these gifts, and for the knowledge that I am blessed and I am a blessing, I say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
So I decided to pair these two songs together because they're about opening your eyes to see the beauty in the world.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved and set me free. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. I see leaves of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. are blue and clouds are white. Bright sunny days, those warm sacred nights. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on those faces of people passing by. And I see friends shaking hands, they're saying, how do you do? Well, they're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I'll watch them grow, and they'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. What a wonderful world.
I love that, Claire, pairing those two songs. Beautiful. According to theologian Matthew Fox, we are here to get drunk on the universe. We believe we live in an inert, soulless machine. There is no place for intoxication. There's no place to dance, to feel joyful, to feel spontaneous, to be awestruck by the wonders of creation. And Fox says that one reason for the serious addiction problem in our culture is that there is no place for us to get intoxicated on the sacred mysteries of the universe. So many seek chemical ways to get high. Well, today's lesson focuses on the first path of what's called creation spirituality, which is all about blessing and awe. When we become aware of our many blessings, we become awestruck with the wonders all around us. We move into the divine stream of giving and receiving. The more that we receive from the universe, the more grateful we become, the more we want to give. There was a politician who was wanting to receive, so he sent out thousands of letters in the community to let people know that he was running for office and to ask for support. A lot of that going on now. And he addressed the letters to occupant. And so several days later, he got a check in the mail for $100,000. He could not believe his eyes. And he went to see who sent him this money, and it was signed occupant. A bit disappointing. The whole universe is rushing, streaming, pouring into each one of us with its unlimited possibilities, while we express ourselves in the creative effort of life. It's a great dance of giving. But it's essential we awaken to the gift of creation and treat it with reverence and with awe. So today is the first of a 4-week series on unity and creation spirituality. Creation spirituality, like unity, is a spiritual tradition and a movement It was rediscovered and brought to light by world-renowned theologian and author Matthew Fox in his exploration of ancient mystical teachings. It integrates the wisdom of Western and Eastern spirituality, global indigenous cultures with the emerging scientific understanding of the universe and the passionate creativity of art. So in a sense, you could say it's a meeting of science, art, mysticism, and ecology. Creation spirituality, like unity, teaches each of us has to discover our true self, we call the Christ, and the spiritual journey that takes us beyond the superficial life into the depths of the self. So Fox named the journey of self-discovery that each of us takes 4 paths. He called the via positiva, the via negativa, via creativa, and via transformativa. So starting today with via positiva, and via means life. So this relates to, the life we awaken on each phase of our life journey. So starting with the via positiva, Fox in his book, Original Blessing, said, "Let there be no question about it. What has been most lacking in society and in religion in the West for the past 6 centuries has been a via positiva, a way or path of affirmation, thanksgiving, ecstasy." Via positiva is all about awe and wonder and delight in all the blessings of creation. When we delve into this path, we realize that we are blessed from the beginning, and we are also a blessing. So just for a minute, think about your blessing. And once we start doing this, the list can go on and on, from our loved ones to all of the functions of our bodies, to our homes, our work, beauty around us, all the amazing species of life on the planet, not to mention the rest of the universe. One could spend hours. So the next time you feel burdened by your troubles, stop the worry and begin to count your blessings. We often hear that when you can't sleep at night, count your blessings. Sometimes it seems to work, sometimes it doesn't. But the idea, just count your blessings. Do it from a different place, with you as the center of the universe. The universe is centered in you, and from that place begin to bless the cosmos and count the blessings that you see and experience from the pictures, from looking up at the sky at night, the universe, the cosmos, and then bring it back to all the blessings of the planet. So all around it, fire, earth, air, and water, the mountains, the ocean, the valleys, hills, on and on, and all of the species of the planet. And then bring it back to your own personal life and the blessings there and the daily blessings. By then, you should be asleep. Well, this idea of blessing is not only about counting and appreciating all that we have received, it really gets to the essence of our life on this planet, particularly in this culture. In other words, blessing has not been the traditional teaching in the Western world. The basic Christian premise is called fall redemption theology, and it begins with the concept of the fall. A fall in the distant past that supposedly occurred in the Garden of Eden when Adam and Eve messed up. The story goes that God told Adam and Eve not to eat of the fruit in the Garden of Eden, and a serpent whispered into Eve's ear and beguiled her. She ate of the fruit and talked Adam into also eating of the fruit. And through their disobedience, then they were cast out of the garden. They fell out of paradise. And supposedly, according to this teaching, humankind is still suffering for their sin. This is the original sin. So fall redemption theology teaches us that this fall out of paradise will be redeemed in a future heaven as we accept Jesus Christ now as Lord and Savior. Now, this is not what unity or creation spirituality believes. Both teach that we are born in original blessing, not in original sin. We have been blessed by the universe for billions of years before St. Augustine and other early church fathers created and embraced the concept of original sin. That's why we use rose petals in christening ceremonies in unity. We don't believe that we have to wash away sin with water, but a rose symbolizes the unfolding of the divine soul within us. So Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, co-founders of Unity, said, "The whole secret of the demonstration of Christ is that we shall come to know our original sinlessness," which is the same thing. They also claim there never was a fall of man, but that our creation was spiritual, and that we are just as spiritual today as we ever were or ever will be. So they had a whole different take on the Adam and Eve story. Not about original sin at all, but about our creation. So Matthew Fox did not invent creation spirituality. He rediscovered many of the teachings after a long journey through and beyond the Catholic Church and into the mysticism of the West and the East. He's said to be the most famous theologian who has ever lived, and he was a Dominican priest before he was excommunicated by the Vatican, which certainly added to his fame. Cardinal Ratzinger, at the time, who later became Pope Benedict. Remember Pope Benedict? He was the one before Francis, our current Pope. Some of you may remember him by his red designer shoes. And he ended up retiring instead of dying in the office, hired as to a villa on the coast or Italy. But when he was Cardinal Ratzinger, he was head of an office in the Catholic Church that went after people who weren't complying, so to speak, with the rules. And he went after Matthew Fox, and partly for his teachings about original blessing rather than original sin. Also because he was an avid feminist, and he practiced feminist theology, calling God mother as well as father, which we do in unity. And that didn't go over well. And then also, he was a very strong supporter of gay rights, as well as feminist rights, obviously. So over a 30-year period, Fox was engaged in conducting a wisdom school, which was for many years in Oakland, California. And he brought together scientists, artists, mystics, ecologists, social activists to help create a new culture. In other words, he's been on the cutting edge of creating new paradigms in theology, in science, in mysticism, in education, and politics. His faculty has included mathematical cosmologist Brian Swim, dream worker, the late Jeremy Taylor, many others, including mystical scholar Andrew Harvey. The fact that he had Starhawk, a Wiccan, or White Witch, as one of his faculty members did not sit well with the Vatican either, as you might imagine. But later, Fox tells that when he was in the middle of writing his book called The Reinvention of Work, the doorbell rang, and he got up and answered, and it turns out, he said, it was his pink slip from the Pope excommunicating him from the Vatican after 34 years of being a Dominican priest. He was excommunicated and then had to reinvent his work. So I attended the master's program at his school when it was in Oakland, and it was one of the most amazing educational experiences of my life. I loved it and still consider it a fantastic blessing. So just as Charles and Myrtle Fillmore did not invent any new teachings, neither did Matthew Fox. But they each had a mission to reinterpret ancient teachings in light of contemporary wisdom. Thankfully, they let go of the concept of original sin and focused on blessing. Do you realize the importance of the difference between a mass conscious belief in fall redemption and sin as opposed to a belief in original blessing? It's the difference in collective unworthiness or worthiness, the difference in condemnation of others and acceptance of others, the difference in being programmed with shame and guilt versus a sense of joy and wonder. Via Positiva. It seems to me unworthiness is a very deep universal issue and the lack of self-esteem that goes with it. So it's the bottom line for many people. You know, both of my sons had experiences related to this when I was in ministerial school in Lee Summit, Missouri. And my sons were 6 and 12 at the time. Justin, my youngest, was going to an after-school care at a woman's home who had a son of her own and other children to take care of. And one day I went to pick Justin up, and he was extremely upset. He got in the car and he started to cry. Well, it turned out the woman's little son had been playing with him, and they had been digging in the backyard. And the boy told him that he better be careful digging because he could go to hell because he is a sinner like all of us, and that hell is the deepest, darkest place you could find beyond any hole he might dig, but he could get to there if he's bad. And the devil lives there and on and on. You know? And it's a place of it's dark and filled with fire. And then, so obviously his mother believed the same. And I had to spend time in the car getting Justin calmed down, and ended up telling him that, you know, some people believe that, but that we don't believe that. And I had to help reaffirm his own sense of goodness. You know, think about that, people who were programmed for years about that lack of goodness. So it was amazing. I pulled him out of that daycare the very next day. And my son Chris was 12 at the same time we moved to Missouri. And it's a really hard time to move a kid when they're he was really missing friends. And so he finally made a friend at school, and he was so excited. He was invited over to his house after school. And when I went to pick him up, he was just distraught. And I asked, what's going on? Well, it turns out while he was there, the friend's mother started talking to him about himself and his family, and learned that Chris's mom was going to a Unity school, and that did it. He said to him, "You are not going to be able to play with my son again." And so he had a friend for one day, and I called her that night to see if we could come to some agreement. There was absolutely no way. I was told we were miserable sinners, we were going to hell, we were from the dark side, so forth. And I told Chris what she said, and I said, don't ever forget this. And don't ever forget how it feels to be treated this way. Never has. He's really one of the most accepting people I know, actually. but it was an amazing experience to be on the receiving end of that. This belief they encountered stems from the concept of original sin. One way of understanding creation spirituality and unity as well is to see that they are the exact opposite of fundamentalism. And when we speak of fundamentalism, it's not pointing the finger at a certain church. It's pointing the finger at a certain aspect of every church when people become narrow-minded, limited, and judgmental in their thinking. That can include unity. I mean, I've known a few unity fundamentalists. One has to stay awake. We must reject the unworthiness and low self-esteem that comes with those teachings that would keep us less than our unlimited selves. Some children were asked, how can you make people feel better about themselves? An 8-year-old Reem said, well, if someone says to me, I feel that no one likes me, I would say to them, well, I like you. And if the people don't like you, they're not the right people for you. But the people that think you're special are special, because deep down inside your heart, way inside, if you really feel deep down, you'll find that you are special. Pretty wise 8-year-old. Jacqueline, age 8, said everyone should have an alarm clock that says nice things to them in the morning when they wake up. Not a bad idea. Well, a lack of self-esteem has to do with powerlessness and guilt and shame, including an addiction to power. All we have to do is turn on the news to see what an addiction to power looks like today. And the opposite, worthiness and self-esteem, is the remedy for healing wholeness. So original blessing is the same as the basic premise of unity. There is only one presence, one power in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. God is good, God is blessing, God is love. We find God, we find good by looking for the blessing, all things. And in unity, we call that practicing the presence. Whether we think of God as the universe or as a part of ourself, or as the first fireball that began everything, or as an energy field, the force, or a divine parent, or even if we'd prefer to use a different word than God, we can still look for the blessing in everything that happens and feel a connection with something beyond our personalities. Creation spirituality talks about the great fireball that began the universe, and that each of us must find a cosmology or an understanding of our place in the universe. And unity talks about one presence and one power in the universe, and the bottom line for both traditions is original blessing. So children have some wonderful ideas about God, and the book Children's Letters to God has been around for a long time. I know you've heard some of these, but comments bear repeating. Dear God, in Sunday school, they told us what you do. Who doesn't when you're on vacation? Love, Jane. Dear God, how did you know you were God? Darlene. Dear God, I think the stapler is one of your greatest inventions. Dear God, who draws the lines around the countries? Do we begin in shame and guilt, or in awe and wonder and blessing? Difficult decision, right? Just look at a newborn baby. The answer is simple. Are we worthy children of God, heirs to the kingdom, queendom, divine state of consciousness, or are we somehow lacking? A Sunday school child was asked what the sins of omission were. And she responded, they're the sins we ought to have committed but haven't yet. So we're born in original blessing, and the more we count our blessings in gratitude, the more we become awestruck by life, by the universe. Gratitude is not the result of things that happen to us. It's an attitude we cultivate by practice. The more we're thankful for, the more we will find to be thankful for. So Matthew Fox says that one way of grasping the four paths is to understand them like as four commandments or signposts that can energize us for the journey. So for the Via Positiva, it is, thou shalt fall in love at least 3 times a day. Not just with a lover, but we can fall in love with a galaxy since there are 1 trillion of them. Or we could fall in love with a star, of which there are 200 billion in our single galaxy alone. Or a species of wildflower, of which there are at least 10,000 on our planet. Or a species of bird or fish or tree or plant or animal. Or with another human being, preferably one different from ourselves. We could fall in love with music, poetry, painting, dance. If we fell in love with one of Mozart's works, we would have 7 years of joy. How could we ever be bored? We can look at life in 2 ways, through the eyes of lack or the eyes of plenty. Fear sees limits while love sees possibilities. And this is a universe, a cosmos, that has unlimited possibilities, and it gives abundantly. So I invite you to join us on Zoom for Wednesday night classes through these 4 weeks of October. We'll follow up with a deeper experience of each of these paths. And adding them to your spiritual kit can serve you in many ways going forward. They may seem simple, but these paths have sometimes brought clarity to me when nothing else did through the years. They provide a great framework, powerful lens for seeing the world and for seeing ourselves. And this is also great for fortifying us during this time as the election approaches and we get nervous. So your handout today has some suggested weekly exercises. The first is follow the commandment, fall in love at least 3 times a day. Second, begin and end each day this week by giving thanks for your blessing. When you get up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, ask yourself, number 3, how am I a blessing? Take time to truly realize the blessing that you are. Sometimes it's harder to see that in ourselves. The affirmation is, I am blessed and I am a blessing. I invite you to say that each day, however many times you can. And incorporate that into your spiritual practice this week. I am blessed and I am a blessing. Please join me in saying that aloud. I am blessed and I am a blessing. In closing today, there's a beautiful passage written by early Christian mystic Julian of Norwich. He said, I know well that heaven and earth and all creation are great, generous and beautiful and good. God's goodness fills all his creatures and all his blessed works full and endlessly overflows in them. God is everything which is good. And as I see it, God is everything which is good as I see it, and the goodness which everything has is God. So this week, let us look at our blessings, fall in love at least 3 times a day, become awestruck by the wonders of creation. Thank you. God bless you.
This tune's called The Power of Amazing Grace.
In the silence of a sunrise, It's a mystery unfolding before your very eyes. The wonder leaves us breathless, no matter how we try to explain it using words. Well, the words just can't replace the power of amazing grace. It's the grace in every moment, the peace within your heart, the power in the knowing that it lives in every part of this never-ending circle of love here in this place. The power of amazing grace. It's the beginning and the middle, and it never has an end. An overwhelming presence that's hard to comprehend. But if we stop and take a breath, we can feel it in this place. The power of amazing grace. The grace in every moment, the peace within your heart, the power in the knowing that it lives in every part of this never-ending circle of love here in this place. The power of amazing grace. The power of amazing grace. Amazing grace.
That was absolutely lovely, Claire. I'm awestruck. So I got 2 more to go today. Give her a hand. Okay, this is the time in our service when we bless our offering. So if you're feeling truly blessed by this wonderful message and this wonderful music and this wonderful life we live, please consider making a donation to Unity North. You can go to our website and click on that URL thing. I don't know how to do that, but anyway. Thanks for appreciating my honesty. Okay, let's pray together. Divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And now Claire will play us another song about our offering.
So many blessings, it's hard to count. So much love all around. All the just to show we care. So much to give everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Blessings keep rising like the morning sun. Love keeps flowing like the river runs. There are no bounds.
All right, this is the type of our program when I read the announcements. Our prayer chaplain today is Wendy Erickson. She's right here in the house, and her phone number is also posted. She's an excellent person to pray with, so please take advantage of that. And today's healing facilitator is Nancy Helbig, also in the house. The sign-up sheet for a 15-minute healing is over by the Bubbling Buddha, and it's probably one of these side rooms, wherever Nancy will be there. So be sure to not walk in on her if your name is not at the top of the list and she's busy. We have a men's group facilitated by myself, usually on the second and fourth Saturdays of the month. However, this month, the next meeting won't be till October 26th. And also we have my number's there. If you want to talk to me about it, I'd be more than glad to have the conversation. Youth and family ministry, but she's not here. Or yes, you are. No, she's not. I saw Mary Ann back there when I was thinking, geez, that looks like Kathleen, but no. Sit up a little taller, Mary Ann. Anyway, we'll wait till she comes in to read that part. We also have an event coming up called Shine Bright, annual holiday auction coming November 10th through December 8th. And you can go online now and you can click on this link, unitynorthmn.org/auction donations, and start dropping in your pictures and descriptions of what you want to donate for a fundraiser for our fall Christmas fundraiser. So here comes Kathleen, and she looks like she's all business. So the youth ministry is in need of some additional support. 2 to 3 volunteers in the nursery, 2 to 3 volunteers in the YES program, which are 5 to 11-year-olds. 1 Sunday a month or less, and come on up, Kathleen, and give us a little more update.
Hi. Sorry, guys. I was playing tic-tac-toe. Unfortunately, I was losing, so you saved me. The little dude over there in the corner is killing me with tic-tac-toe. Anyways, the announcements for nursery and Sunday school teachers. Last week, thank you for those who came and sought me out last week, because I got 2 teachers. Now, we're on a roll, but I ain't stopping yet, because I need some help in the nursery. And somebody else can play with that young gentleman over there and see if they can win tic-tac-toe with him. But still needing at least one more helper in the nursery, which would be ideal. And you get to pick a Sunday, kind of. A couple of Sundays are chosen, but it's really, I'm looking for 1 Sunday a month would be ideal. So, for those of you who did not see me last week, I'm still waiting. All right, thank you.
Kathleen, what about next week?
New hat. Next Sunday, we are going to have a bridging ceremony. We haven't seen a bridging ceremony in here in a very long time. For a quick reminder for all of you, a bridging ceremony is what we do to celebrate those children who are moving from one grade level to the next grade level. We have 3 people next week that will be participating in this. Bronwyn, who is bridging from the Unitine to our YOU, and then Harrison and Serena will be bridging together from the YES, the preschool to elementary, into Unitines, which is our middle schoolers. So please join us for that. And then, since they bridge, we're going to put them to work right away, and they're going to have an ice cream social after service next week. So join us for that as well. All right, that's it. 2 hats, good enough.
Thank you, Kathleen, for those updates. You're always, and you're welcome here anytime. Anyway, if you have a donation to make for this auction that's coming up, please do so. And if you have any problem at all, contact Brandy at unity@unityandnorthmn.org, and she will help you with any questions. Our goal this year is 2,000 or better to help replace our 4 parking lights. The goal is to update them all to the LED. They'll be longer lasting and less and more efficient, less energy consuming. So that would be a good improvement. So let's shine bright this holiday season. There's party number 12 coming up. It's Egypt and the Afterlife with Reverend Kathy and Becky Oberlin. It's Friday at November 1st from 6:30 to 9:30 right here. There's still 1 ticket left at $30. So please do that. You know, it says Middle Eastern dinner, a deeper insight into ancient Egypt and more. I'm assuming more means there might be some lessons on how to walk like an Egyptian. And maybe we can get a volunteer to do that. I don't know, but show up and you never know. There'll be more. That's all I know. And then we have what's going on today. We're starting with the Reverend Kathy's talk today about our original blessings and living life with joy. There will be follow-up on Wednesday. I believe it's Wednesday. Yeah. 6:30 Wednesday. So please sign up for that so you'll get a reminder from Brandy that that class will be starting at 6:30 on Wednesday evening on Zoom. And then there's also going to be fun on October 27th. So besides next weekend is going to be another fun party with an ice cream social, celebrate those 3 children that are transitioning. Sunday, October 27th will be Game and Art Day with a Halloween theme after service. So you can come wearing your costumes to service and at the party, or you can come just afterwards do a quick change and go to the party with your costumes. Anyway, it should be fun. Please come and share the fun. And more on the Unity North and wait a minute, did I miss something else? Oh yeah, October 20th is Expand Your Consciousness with Others. It's a prayer and healing gathering for a peaceful election, a transfer of power and inauguration. So if you have any stress, or worry, or doubt about what's going on politically, please bless yourself and others by coming to this event and imagine praying with others, meditating. There'll be other healing activity included. Get yourself in a really good state of mind. So there's a sign-up sheet in the lobby. Be good to have people sign up so we know how many people will be here. That'll be at noon on October 20th, right after service, or after the quick lunch. So if it's going to be you have to have a really quick cookie, because you'll have to leave service here and for a few minutes and then come back at noon. So please be part of that. It might be a wonderful healing experience. Did I miss anything else? Okay. So once again, I got through that. Okay. So now we have affirmation. Let's do our affirmation. Please join me. We are grateful for our youth and family members, our children, our parents, our youth directors, our teachers, and our teachings. In prayerful intention, we see and give for an immediate and continuing increase in families and teachers, and so it is. Okay, now Reverend Kathy will lead us with the prayer for protection.
Thank you, Noel. You're really on a roll today. Great job. Great job. All right, and thank you to Tracy and Nancy for your support today. And for Claire for your wonderful music. Beautiful songs today. All right. So I invite you to stand as we say our prayer for protection and then do our peace song. Together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin